Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got the blank, which is good, but the rest of the rack is pretty ropey, especially the two V's. So I can't see anything better than changing. I think the best I can do is LEV, but that keeps F, K and V and doesn't score very much, so I'm going to change. And I'll keep EL blank. Great, I have Al Soon with the blank as an A, and I suspect I have other bingos with this rack. And my opponent will be providing floaters with every tile he plays. Okay, sadly just the two floaters in the O and the X. The O doesn't look very particularly helpful with the two O's on my rack. However, I note straight away that I do have Al Soon across the top of OXO, and that's likely to be the best score. OXO takes nothing in front or after it. Now Al Soon does place vowels under both these triple letter squares, so I wonder if there's a better play. I'm going to have a squiz through the alphabet and see what I can see. So that's console, which also works and is better, the C restricting use of this triple letter square. However, it does take some hooks at the end, which Al Soon doesn't. That's noodles. Okay, again, not ideal for in terms of vowels next to premium squares. 18 minutes on my clock. Not seen anything else yet. Still nothing. This looks a promising rack. I'm not sure if solo net takes an S only. Well, it's not good. Unloose. Okay, let me see what this looks like. 72 points, and it's avoiding anything too horrendous. I'm going with this. Not good. Far too many vowels and the triplicate A. And just the C as a scoring tile. Unloose takes quite a few floaters at the end. I have coat on my rack with an E at the end, which would leave just double A, which isn't a disastrous rack leave. I have an O for going underneath ox. So I have ATOC, ATOC, leaving EAA, probably better than changing. But it would be better to have two vowels retained rather than three. Just the floating N as a floating consonant. So close to oceanaut, I would need one of my A's to be a U for that to play. I was just wondering if I had a play in row H, but my opponent's gone there. My ATOC spot remains available. Coat doesn't quite play with an E at the end. And if I'm playing it without the E, I'd be better off playing ATOC in terms of score. Let me see what ATOC gets. 27 points, pretty good. It's not providing anything massive for my opponent. So I'm going with this. Well, that's not too bad actually. Although it's non-bingo-y, I'm not drowning in vowels. Having kept 3 of them, I draw 3 consonants and 1 vowel. And I have scoring tiles. And a 50-point lead. I think Wampy is good, and that plays in row F. Yep, that's fine. Still no hook for unloose. I think it's D, N and S. I don't think it takes an R. Sock case takes a K, so that's a really hot spot for that tile. And I note that Wampy also plays in row J, making A, E. And I haven't seen anything better than Wampy. Both of those spots could be blocked. And since I don't have anything to go on the end of unloose, I may be restricted, but I'm not. Opponent does block one of the spots, but not both. And actually a block board suits me since I'm ahead. Wampy for 33. Not great, but not disastrous either. It's a bit like the last rack, a long way from a bingo, but it's balanced in terms of vowels and consonants. And I've got scoring tiles. The V and the F go particularly badly together, so I'll be looking to play off both or one of them. I have 5 in column 11, which is quite handy because it disrupts the hook for unloose, or the hooks for unloose. Wow, great bingo for my opponent. He now takes a 1-point lead. And he blocks my 5 spot. So, what to do with this rack? I have favour on my rack, which gets rid of the F and the V. And that does play, making double A. Do I have something better? What about a play in column 8? Although I'd like to get rid of the F and the V together. If there's a big enough score, I will keep one of them on my rack. Well, I'm not seeing anything in column 8. And I can't see anything running over the top of Tsarism. So, favour for 20. Not good. Again, a long way from a bingo. I don't see any 7s here, and I think it's unlikely that there are any or many 8s. Quite a blocked board. But still some lanes open. And still the K to come for sock. So, how to sort this rack out? Do I have something in column 8? Not that I can see. What about something running across the top of Tsarism? I've got GAU, but that keeps duplicate I. I would have Patagia through an A. Now 45 points for my opponent. He's now got a 20-point lead. And I don't think any of the floaters he's provided help me. I have Patui on my rack. Can't see anywhere for that. Row K quite hot with this A over the double word square. But I can't see a play which goes in that spot. I have Atiki on my rack. But nowhere for that. So, still 5 eyes to come, and I mention that because I'm contemplating keeping 2 by playing Gore. Let me see what this scores. 21 points, not a great score. I've got GUI in the same spot, but no word. What about a play in column 4? Maybe ending IUM. Not seeing anything. So, quite a troublesome rack. GAU just doesn't feel great. It would be nice to turn over more tiles, since this is such a non-bingo-y rack. 13 minutes on my clock, 44 tiles in the bag. What about... well, I've got Payu. That's definitely better than GAU. 24 points, it's more points and it's a better rack leave. I'm going with this. Now that looks a little better. I have digitals through the eye, which will be good if that remains available. I can't see any other bingos on this board, and I can't see any 7s with this rack. I would have Gladiust through an E. Now if digitals is blocked, do I have something in row K ending AG or AD? So I would have DAG, which would be okay. It would, however, be providing a nice scoring spot in row L, which isn't ideal. Just 2 points between us, a really close game. Do I have any other bingos? Great! Has digitals been blocked? It has. How annoying. It has just been blocked. Digitals played in 2 spots. And VUM just blocks. Okay. Do I have anything through the arm? I don't think so. I think I really need a floating vowel. So, how about playing Glad? That's slightly harder to score off than Gad. 23 points. I'm keeping the S for the Vor hook, and I'm opening the board up, which I'd quite like to do. My opponent is ahead, and Vor for only 20 points suggests he may have an S, or he may just be dumping a V from an unpromising rack. Just pausing in case I had a bingo through the B. I didn't pay it a huge amount of attention, but I can't see such a play. I'm going with Glad for 23. Well, nice to see the Z, but I don't have a bingo. I've got Fez. No, I don't. FO, not good. Fitz is not good. It's Fritz. Look at this. I have Fritz in column 14 for a 70-point score. Will that remain available? The K still to come. Do I have anything in row L? I've got the D for making fad. But I don't have vowels which go under G and L. The I goes under both, and the E neither. Wow. Nice bingo for my opponent. 68 points. But fortunately for me, Fritz remains available. And I could extend this to Fritz, but I don't think I will. It would be 6 more points, but I think DE helps this rack leave by at least 6 points. And Fritz would allow my opponent to score more with a column 15 play. So Fritz for 74. Not great. I do, however, have the I for going with the Q. And I note that my opponent's played the K, so this wonderful sock hook isn't going to be used. Where can I play my Q? I've got G and G. Wow, look at the scores. Just 7 points between us. It would be nice to have an available A for playing caddy to split up the duplicate D, but no A available. Caddy or cade. So all I can see in terms of playing the cue is Chi. Great, that could have been worse. Just 31 points for my opponent. Ionian takes an A in front, but that won't get used. Nowhere new for Chi. Still 2 U's to come. So this risk, playing Chi here risks a Q play. But this is 24 points. If I play in row B, it is 7 fewer points. And I'm placing a Q over a double word square with 2 I's to come. 2 I's and 2 U's. I can't see anywhere else for my Q, and duplicate D isn't a disaster, especially with the Zo front hook of a D. What would be bad is if I'm overlooking a good Q spot, but I don't think I am. Wow, that's pretty good. I have Teddy's and Deadest, and Teddy's plays in column 14, making tar and N, and it also plays in row M, making git. Fantastic. So I'm definitely bingoing. And look at the scores. We are dead level. Opponent does have the U for, well, he had the I as well, so he was going to score off my Q play wherever I played. So where to play? If I play Teddy's, then I'm opening up row O for a big score. If I play Dedust and Zo, I'm not. That's 75 points, only providing a floating T. And Teddy's, 78 points, only 3 points between them, so this is a better spot. Because although it's 3 points less, my opponent doesn't have access to the triple word squares in row O. Is there something better? I've got Deadest and Add, but that's not better. It doesn't reach the double word square. I don't have anything beginning under FA. I think it is just Deadest and Teddy's. I don't think there's a third anagram. There could be. Ionian doesn't take an S at the end. I'm going with this. Pretty good. That looks close to a bingo. And if I haven't got a bingo, it is quite balanced. Now I think I have elocuted through the T, which would be quite nice. And I can't see any other bingos on this board. So what if that is blocked? I have cloud on my rack. Well, look at the remaining vowel situation. There's only 2 out of the remaining 12 tiles. So my opponent could be in trouble. Great, he hasn't blocked elocuted. It looks like he didn't have any vowels. Now, elocuted may not be good. Let's find out. I think it is. Elocuted. Yes, it is. Fantastic. 78 points. I've got a 100-point lead. I've drawn one of the only 2 remaining vowels. I can see what my opponent's got. He's got 1 vowel and a heap of high-scoring tiles. He's going to struggle to play off many of those. So I should be looking forward to a healthy count back total. So opponent's certainly not going out. Where can I go out with 10? I've got Kent in column 4, 16 points. I'll be getting 28 points on count back. Fantastic. 8 minutes on my clock. 16 points for Kent. Can I score more? Dent, 15 points. That's less. And I'm not seeing anything better. There could be. I haven't given this a rigorous search, but Kent for 16. And the final score, 383 to my opponent, 494 for me, a winning margin of 111 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. I had this rack, and I changed, and Lev was the best on offer. Well, Kef is also on offer, but I still preferred changing. Opponent's rack plays Oxo, and now I have a ton of bingos to choose between, all scoring about the same. Opponent's rack, he plays a bear, and now I'm struggling with vowels. Kobia, wow, that is a nice looking word. Not sure I would have known that, although I would have studied it. So Kobia through the B. And what do? I play a Tok for 27. 9 more points, but 3 vowels versus AT. 3 vowels versus AT. I think Kobia, just in terms of in terms of score and rack leave, I think Kobia has the edge. I think AAE is 9 points worse than AT. Although I note that Kobia does provide access to the triple word square bottom left. Now, this was my opponent's rack. Not nice. He plays Nai, and that gives me Wamp, which sorted my rack out. Great rack for my opponent. And he has Tsarism, so his rack was pretty awful when he played Nai, but it's worked out really well for him with his pickup. So 74 points for my opponent, and I have Favour for 20, Fap D8, okay, quite nice, for 27, retaining the V. Opponent's rack, he plays Big Ha, which Fap would have blocked. And this was a rack I really struggled with. I played Payu in the end for 24. Hutia D8. Oh, very nice. Beginning with the H of Big Ha. Yes, I think that's a better play, but Payu looks pretty much in second place. Opponent's rack plays Vor. So, he played Vor from this rack. Yeah, and he's got the blank. My rack. This is where Digitals was blocked. I had no alternative bingo. I played Glad. And opponent has a choice of bingos and plays Nubia, which is great for me. Because I have Fritz for 74. Opponent plays Eonian, and I'm in a slightly tricky spot now because this isn't a great rack. I've got the Q, and I trail by 20 points. So I play Chi at L1. The opponent has the U and plays Quit. And I'm now 40 points behind, but I've got this fantastic rack. And I could have played Dedust alongside Ionian, which I didn't consider for 81. Instead, I played it to make Zo at F13 for 6 fewer points. Not necessarily a bad move, because Dedust in this spot only provides 1 floater, whereas in column 14 it's providing 3 floaters, or 4 floaters, and it's providing a vowel next to this double letter square with access to the triple word square, so I actually prefer my placement. Look at this, my poor opponent. From his perspective, quite a few vowels out there, but none of them on his rack. He plays Fal, and that's just fantastic because I have elocuted through the T and have a 100-point lead. Opponent plays Hewer, and finally Kent for 16 was the best. So, cracking game. Really helped quite a lot my 2 back-to-back bingos right towards the end in my favour. But that happens sometimes, and you need to accept that sort of good fortune with good grace, and I did. So, fantastic stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.